all directions, but then we're still going to bop sometimes. We're still going to do some bumper cars, and we just all just make sure that we're aware of anything that's around us. Sometimes there's pillars around us, sometimes there's furniture. We just have to be aware of the space, but bumping does happen, that's for sure. So once we're here, if you guys are up for it, you know, just feel free to watch if it feels like too much at the moment. But I want to show you how we can come into another form of supported ladle. We're going to keep the leg loops as is, squeezing the legs together. I start to blossom my arms out, so I raise my arms up towards the sky. And then the swing, the back edge of the swing is going to be under the arms, and then I'm going to just take my hands and I'm going to hold on to the side. So from here, see how my arms are out, so it's underneath my armpits again. So from here, I'm just going to start to lift my hips up and lean back. And as I lean back, I'm going to let the swing slide down again. So this might be a little more comfortable for some people to just hold on and have the whole lower body fully supported by the swing and leg loops. So that's another way that I come into ladle from the more restorative position of the cocoon. And it feels really good. It's a nice way to get a back bend, but then you can lift yourself right back up, you know, and sit in the swing. So on this one, just keep holding on to the swing. Don't bring the hands down to the ground. It's supposed to be a more beginner level. Yeah. There you go. Squeeze the legs together if you can. Good. But you get all the benefits of the inversion in the back bend without putting any strain on the body that way. And then when you lift yourself back up, you can just let the swing go, yeah, all the way around the arms and head again. So while we're here, this would be part of the restorative practice that we're doing tomorrow. So tomorrow when we do it, we'll do a review. We're going to bend the right knee and grab for the right foot and come into a floating pigeon here. So we're leaning back, our head is supported. And we're wrapping our arms around our shin and grabbing our foot and pulling it in, whatever feels good. There's so many different variations. But see if you can take some time to lean back and just let a very gentle hip stretch happen. So obviously this is not going to be as deep as when we were floating, but it still feels really good. So for some people this would be enough. And so we want to have a version that we can do while fully expanded in the cocoon. And then we're going to slowly release, and let's do the other side. Bend the left knee in, grab for the foot. I like to kind of hook it in my elbow crease, and then I wrap my arms around. I can use the leg loop to kind of pull in a little bit deeper. Yeah, there you go, hug it in. Just like you would do, all these poses that we do in the swing are similar to what we could do on the ground, laying on our back. Beautiful, guys. Go ahead and release that back out. We're going to come back in our chillaxed pose, so let's go ahead and bunch up the leg loops. Hold on to the front lip of the swing, lift the hips, and slide on in. There we go. A little bit better?
Yeah.
Cool.
How are we doing, Carol? Yeah, my headache's still there, but I'm working it through.
Yeah, feel free to get a sip of water or whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're going to reach forward towards the leg loops. Okay? So if you want, you can watch for, so always stay seated when you're going to come out. Yeah, so lean back. Do you want to take the leg loops off to come out? Yeah, so grab with both hands, stay seated, and then the second one comes off. Otherwise we can start to jump around.
Okay, yeah, I usually stand up.
Oh, no. Yeah, we stay seated. That way we're fully supported. Okay, so just watch for this sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to reach forward for the leg loops. So as high as we can. So I call this the silver spoon because we're going to, just like a spoon, we start to, a metal spoon, we bend it back and forth until it starts to loosen up. Any kind of metal. So what we're going to do is we're going to first exhale, get all the air out, just squeeze the legs together and round in like we're doing a floating child's. And then we're going to inhale, we're going to pull and lift. So we don't pull up so much that our hips go past neutral. So it's not this. We stay low. And we're just opening up the hips and we're doing a bicep curl. Yeah, see my torso stays right in line, vertical with the earth. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to squeeze. When we squeeze, we round in again. So another form of the floating child's. So we inhale and we expand. So it's really strong arms. So we keep pushing our hips forward, opening up the legs, and then exhale and squeeze again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. So if we don't have the hips open, there's no way that we can come forward into our flying butterfly. So let's go ahead and come into chilaxin, and we'll pause for a moment to wait for Carol, and we'll just repeat that sequence again. Whenever you want to take a break, it's always good to come back to the gentle swagger. So from side to side. It's also, you'll find that it's massaging out that stickiness behind the heart, where the muscles, the rhomboids, start to get really tight. So it should feel good to really press your back into the swing. And then the swing from side to side is what stretches the connective tissue. Can you guys feel that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it should feel really good. Okay, let's go ahead and come to neutral. Inhale, open up the arms to a T. And then we're going to reach forward on the exhale. Just pause here. So when we inhale, we do our bicep curl, and we just lift a little bit. Okay, and then when we exhale, we squeeze. So squeeze and round. Inhale, lift a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. Exhale, squeeze. Okay, we're going to inhale, lift a little bit more. Keep pushing the chest forward. Yeah. So keep your hips low. There's a spot there. Yeah. That's the tightness that the body's avoiding. And then exhale, squeeze again. Be really gentle. Now this time when we pull up, we're going to balance, right? So we keep our hips low. We get our hands in front. So our palms are going to face me. So yeah, so we're pushing the leg loops away. Very strong in the groin. You guys feel it? So another part of the body we haven't bothered to open. So, I mean, just in life in general, like we don't really get this access. And so as we keep leaning forward, bend the knees, yeah. So feet are going to stay bent in the whole practice with chilaxin. Yeah, keep leaning forward with the hips. Mm-hmm. Keep pushing the hips forward. Is that as far as you want to go today, my dear? So keep the knees bent.
No, I don't want to hit her, so you're really close here.
Well, there's plenty of room as long as you keep the knees bent. You'll be fine. So then you bend the elbows too. So we bend the elbows, we bend the knees, we keep pushing the hips down towards the ground. Yeah. Bend the elbows, hon. Yeah. Get the feet together, bend the knees. Mm-hmm. Push your hips down towards the ground. Yeah, you got it. Feet together.
So tight.
Mm-hmm. I know, it is tight on everybody. Feet together. Bring your feet together, hon.
Oh.
Yeah, close enough, yeah. All right, go ahead and engage the arms and pull back. So bring your feet down towards the ground, pull back. Yeah, let yourself catch and chillaxin. There's a little bit of a pivot point there that we have to get. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some people get stuck. It's okay. It's okay to get stuck too. Come back through chillaxin. I'm going to show you the high diver position. So there's an easier way, because a lot of people have tight hips. So until we get open enough to come into the full flying butterfly, I call them high skydivers. Or skydiving, right? Okay. So this is what happens when we lift the hips up. We're going to reach forward. So we always reach for the leg loop. So this is the swing, and then past the swing are the leg loops. Yeah. So this time when we lift, now we're going to lift the hips. So when we lift the hips, we're going to bring our feet to the ground, and we notice that they'll slide up. So if the hips don't open, for most people, the leg loops will slide up. Okay? So I usually call this the mansie or the diaper. But it's our little, like, rock climbing belt, right? For those that rock climb. So we're going to walk our feet to the front of the mat because we don't want to have so much swing, right? When we lean back, whenever we go between the leg loops and the swing, I call it threading. So we're going to thread our hands between that spot. Yes, and then to prayer. Good. So that's how we know, right? We're in the right place. A lot of people are going to go like this. It's okay. Or they'll go like this, which, you know, they get in there. So between the swing and the leg loops, we go to prayer. So the first thing we do is we bring our hands forward. We start to lean forward. And as we lean forward, we're going to open up our arms, open up our legs, and come wide. Good. Yeah. So we can kind of do like these swimming movements. Yeah. So this is the high diver. You got to get it into the sweet spot. There is a spot that feels better than the others. I promise.
You have enough space so your feet are off the floor or barely touch.
Yeah, so straight legs, and you can let them float. The more that you lean forward, the more that they'll float. Yeah. So, if you so bring your feet to the ground and pull yourself back up. So that'll happen if you don't bend the elbows. So we can bend the elbows and have the hands go like out wide, and we'll slide out. We want to bend the elbows and pull the hands towards the shoulders. That's how we get the hook. Yeah. And then you can keep the knees bent if you want and bring the feet together. So this is how we come into the high skydiver, right? With the leg loops up high. So the more that we press our hips down towards the ground and lift the knees, the deeper the stretch. So just play with your edge there. Yeah, it'll be uncomfortable until you get used to that pressure on the hip flexors and groin.
Exactly.
Yeah, that feeling like she was saying yesterday, the like bruised feeling.
Yeah, bruised.
That's really quite common there. Okay, so go ahead and bring the legs back down towards the ground.
The congested lymphatics.
Yeah, that's the lymph. So that stagnation in the legs when the lymphatics are congested at the hip flexors. Okay, so legs are open wide, feet are on the ground. Now we're going to come down. Okay, so walk your feet more towards the back of the mat for me, Carol. Yeah, like right there. Good. Okay, one hand comes down to the ground, other hand comes down to the ground. So transition gracefully if you can. Beautiful, guys. Okay, good. All right, so now we're in a wide straddle down dog. You can walk your hands forward off the mat, press your hips back. So keep your feet wide, right? That's why it's good to let the feet land towards the back of the mat. Nice deep cleansing breaths. Press the heart down towards the earth. It should feel really good. So it's still intense, right? At the hip flexors and groin, but you can make slight adjustments with the swing, with the leg loops if you need. Completely let go of the swing, and the next one we're going to float. We did our forward fold yesterday, and we came into a floating leap. We're going to do the same thing with the leg loops around the upper thigh. We're going to bend our elbows and come onto our forearms. So just watch out for one another, okay? Just gently pick up the feet and let them float about 1 foot off the ground. There you go. You can always keep the knees bent if you like to. Is it too much pressure?
Yeah.
And you're crawling forward a little bit or just hanging?
Just hanging. You're letting the natural plumb line of the leg loops hold you. If you wanted to pull forward and back, you can do a little bit of sway, but that intensifies the massage on the inner groin and hip flexors. So, Carol, there is a way that you can spread these out a little bit more.
I did.
You got it? Okay. So, again, everything expands, and I'm going to show you lots of different variations like that. You can actually cover a whole upper thigh. And that's really nice for people that are like, oh my God, my legs cannot stand that much pressure. Yeah, you got it, like that. Are you okay? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I'm good.
Yeah, it actually feels really good after a while. So come down onto your elbows, okay? Good. Yeah. Way better, right? Yeah. Good. So when something is too intense, we just back off, and there's always a variation. So just feel free to make adjustments or ask, and then that's always a good learning experience for us all. Good. Really nice, guys. Let's just create a little swagger in the swing now. So watch out for one another, but go ahead and sway from side to side. So fully relaxed, right? So our elbows and our forearms are engaged, just so we have some composure with the upper body, but then really like press the heart down towards the ground so you can relax a little bit more into it.